Namaste, Jai Hind and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand. We'll start with Delhi, ladies and gentlemen, where it's been a day of very interesting twists and turns in Delhi politics as Manish Sisodia moved to the Supreme Court seeking bail in the excise policy case and claimed that he had cooperated in the investigation and that the arrest is illegal. A bench comprising Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud and Justice P.S. Narasimha refused to entertain Sisodia's petition and said he had remedies before the trial court concerned as well as the Delhi High Court. Shortly thereafter, Manish Sisodia and the State Health Minister Satyendar Jain resigned from their posts in the State Cabinet. It is now confirmed that Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has accepted their resignation. Sisodia's portfolios will be given to Transport Minister Kailash Gahlot and Social Welfare Minister Kumar Anand. Interestingly, according to reports citing sources from within the Aam Aadmi Party, the party had claimed on Monday that it was too early to discuss about a replacement for Sisodia, who holds 18 of the 33 departments in the Delhi government. His workload had actually increased after Satyendar Jain was arrested by the Enforcement Directorate in May 2022. Sisodia was handed over Jain's portfolios such as health, industries, power, home, urban development, irrigation, flood control and water. So Manish Sisodia arguably was the most powerful personality within the Delhi government because the Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal himself holds no portfolios, ladies and gentlemen. So now, what happens? CBI arrested Manish Sisodia on the 26th of February. Satyendar Jain already in Tihar jail for over 8 months, nearly 253 days if I remember correctly. Charged for corruption in alleged excise policy scam, charged in a money laundering case. Held 18 portfolios in the AAP government. Jain's 8 portfolios had also been handed over to Sisodia. So what happens? The biggest challenge for the Aam Aadmi Party now is, the question they have to answer is, why delay Satyendar Jain's or brazen out Satyendar Jain's arrest for nearly 8 months over, like I said, more than 250 days. But why within 48 hours of Manish Sisodia's arrest have both tendered their resignation? Demands had been there, but the AAP had brazened out Satyendar Jain. But suddenly, with both of them behind the bars and in the dock, this move comes through. Arunima joins us live. Akash Sharma also joins us live. Good evening, Arunima. There are a lot of issues, and this is not the only case that Manish Sisodia has been named under. Even those who are now supplementing or coming in place of Sisodia and Satyendar Jain have the sword of Damocles hanging over their heads. This is trouble for the Aam Aadmi Party. What is the logic behind brazening out Satyendar Jain for more than 8 months, but within 48 hours, moving in on the resignations of Sisodia, and then Satyendar Jain also follows? Because if Sisodia resigns, Satyendar Jain will have to resign.
Well, I think only 3 people would be able to answer that best as to what really changed: Arvind Kejriwal, the Chief Minister, and the 2 ministers concerned, Sisodia and Satyendar Jain. But what I can tell you, that CBI officials were very confident of the evidence that they had this time around. This has been a constant criticism. Why was Mr. Sisodia named as accused number 1 when he has not been charge sheeted? Or what is it that the CBI has really found after repeated searches of his house, of his office, of his bank lockers? So this time around, when CBI called him for questioning, they were prepared. They thought they had enough to confront him with. What is this that was giving CBI this confidence? Number 1, Dinesh Arora, a former associate, was now turned approver, giving CBI crucial insights into alleged meetings that happened in Hyderabad, that happened in Delhi, where money exchanged hands, where currency note numbers of Hawala transactions of 30 crore of bribe were detailed and subsequently given to another accused, Vijay Nair. All those details were now available with CBI through an approval. Number 2, documentary proof, technical proof to show that the co-accused, who are loosely called the South Group, they meeting in a Delhi hotel using the business center to print 36 pages of a document, as identical document being used by Mr. Sisodia before the GOM moved the excise policy. Number 3, the missing file. The excise policy file, which reportedly had all the details about how this policy was formulated, the back and forth between the legal experts, the expert committee, the initial recommendation. Where is that file? When Mr. Sisodia was repeatedly asked, he did not say, I gave it to Secretary A. He did not say, I gave it to Excise Commissioner. He kept saying, I don't know. And that is what makes CBI suspicious, that he knows much more than what he's saying. Their suspicion is that this bribe money was diverted for election funding in Goa, possibly in Punjab too. So they were quite confident of their case against Mr. Sisodia. Ultimately, will this confidence turn into a charge sheet, into conviction? That we have to wait and watch.
Well, there are a lot of questions also. That arise. We'll try and go back to Akash in just a bit. But Arunima, one aspect that stands out is that the Delhi Chief Minister is on record championing this new excise policy. The minister in question, who's currently in the dock, he himself had advocated for it. So, can they actually claim that they did not know? But the burden of proof lies on the prosecution, the CBI. So at this point, the AAP may look at it as a face saver because they want to further their national ambitions. But with respect to Mr. Sisodia, does the CBI have robust proof? Because Mr. Sisodia's legal team will approach the trial court, they will approach the High Court, they will look at redressal. And their argument is that Manish Sisodia is cooperating. There is no ground for his arrest.
But you know what the CRPC says, and this is what CBI officials are pointing out, is that Section 41A of CRPC gives the investigating officer the right to custodial interrogation, and the investigating officer has exercised that right. There is nothing illegal in that act. As far as cooperating or not cooperating with CBI is concerned, I just give you an example that CBI is citing. That crucial file is missing and the minister cannot explain where did that file go, who did he hand over that file to. The other charge of destruction of evidence is that he was using multiple handsets, multiple SIM cards. Where are those phones? Where are those SIM cards? Why is that important? It's because his own personal secretary has reportedly told CBI that informal instructions were given. An excise commissioner has told CBI that informal instructions were given. One of the co-accused, Mr. Mahendru, whose company Indo Spirits benefited from this excise policy, his application was getting rejected on technical grounds. There are now witnesses coming on record to say that Mr. Sisodia personally intervened and asked that his second application be approved. Why was he personally intervening as a minister? How did he know that a second application was being filed? All of these are questions that CBI is asking. Of course, there are those grey areas still. I just want to point them out. CBI says 100 crore kickback was taken. So far, they have no proof of where that money went.
Trail?
All they have said is that 70 lakh was paid in cash in Goa to surveyors, and some money was paid to those using their advertising hoardings. But CBI needs to tell us if money was paid, where was it used? Who really got it? Mr. Sisodia got it, Mr. Kejriwal got it, somebody else got it. Where did that money go? Correct. That is the big question, and that money trail is where CBI is now focusing.
Yes, because kickbacks or that's what will prove the criminality or 120B, criminal conspiracy angle. Till then, it is a policy error, and a policy error does not mean that there is a certain element of quid pro quo criminality or this aspect of office of profit. Akash is also with us. Akash, even with Massage Gate, they brazened out with Satyendar Jain. Despite the proof, what has prompted this sudden turn within the Aam Aadmi Party's move, getting their two key men to resign within 48 hours of Manish Sisodia's arrest?
Right. So, Anand, it is Aam Aadmi Party is saying that it is because they want a smooth governance in the national capital. But the real reason, it seems like, 2024 elections, because Aam Aadmi Party is somewhere changing its strategy. Given that opposition is constantly attacking them, saying that in Punjab you have a different sort of work style, and in Delhi you have opted some different sort of work style. In Punjab, you are saying that just because there is some sort of allegation on our minister, that is the reason why we are asking for the resignation. And in Delhi, your minister is in jail from last more than 8 to 9 months, and you're not asking for the resignation. So it seems like a change in strategy, Anand, and undoubtedly it is like that Aam Aadmi Party is now eyeing on 2024 elections. They are considering themselves as one opposition party, one main opposition party, and this is the reason why possibly we have seen this particular development now. But Anand, it is crucial to mention that Aam Aadmi, BJP and Congress are now asking for the resignation of Arvind Kejriwal as well, because they say that with the acceptance of the particular resignations, you have somewhere accepted that these ministers are in jail and they cannot be a part of your government, and that is the reason why on moral grounds you should resign as well. But on the other hand, Aam Aadmi Party is saying that we believe in the particular system, we believe in our judicial system, and we'll wait. We'll wait for the court proceedings. We'll wait for all the investigations to conclude, and then after we are sure that our minister will be walking out freely. As of now, the biggest challenge is that we have only 4 to 5 ministers left in the cabinet, and As of now, Aam Aadmi Party has decided not to induct anyone in the cabinet, but they'll have to choose two ministers, and we are learning that Saurabh Bhardwaj's name and Atichi's name is very much there, but it will be crucial and important to see as to how things will pan out from now onwards, because Aam Aadmi Party is facing constant attacks from the
no, they have a huge,
they
have more than 60 MLAs. Why do they have to bring back the MPs from the Lok Sabha? And those will also be questions which will be asked. Their own elected representatives, key members. Why do they have to bring them in? Those who are going to also champion their cause for national politics, will they bring them back into Delhi government? These are all aspects which remain. But Arunima, you have some inside details on what happened. Did Manish Sisodia write the letter today? Take us through those developments that you have said, that he wrote the resignation letter today. So had Sisodia decided to resign, or was he asked to put in his resignation?
What we've been told is that this letter was written today. That's what we also learned from our sources in the Aam Aadmi Party. And we do know that his lawyer as well as his wife have been permitted to meet him. A lawyer for 30 minutes, wife for 15 minutes. So what we are being told is that resignation letter was sent by Mr. Sisodia, but the Chief Minister waited till the Supreme Court's decision came. That Supreme Court decision was crucial. Even though if you spoke to legal experts ahead of the Supreme Court hearing, they would tell you, like I just pointed out, the investigating officer under CRPC 40.8 does have the right to custodial interrogation, and that right was being exercised. Abhishek Manu Singhvi tried to compare this custodial interrogation with cases of journalists like Mr. Vinod Dua, the late Vinod Dua, and also Arnab Goswami, but those were cases where dissent was being alleged.
Right.
Like the Supreme Court pointed out, this was a case of corruption, a Prevention of Corruption Act case. The two were not comparable. Even then, CBI officials were watching the proceedings very cautiously. They were prepared with all the evidence, all the document. Their legal teams were there. If the Supreme Court had sought, they would have made them available as to why they needed to take Mr. Sisodia into custody. I gave you those 3 points that they want to ask him of. And after the Supreme Court decided that this cannot be allowed, just because this is Delhi, just because the Supreme Court is physically, geographically located here, I think the Aam Aadmi Party decided that they will have to accept that resignation from the system.
Right. Now, we are also given to understand after the High Court verdict, and they were asked, the Supreme Court asked them to go to the High Court. That decision was taken. There is also the upcoming budget. So it gives them the urgency. If they want to run the House, they can't have it with two key ministers and majority of the portfolios being handled from inside jail. And a cabinet meeting would have to be held somewhere in the jail premises, is what certain BJP leaders were also putting out there, that had to happen. So clearly, will this dent the political credibility of the Aam Aadmi Party and their claim of giving good governance, the success story within a decade that they were in government in 2 states? Now, does that get dented? These are all questions that will remain. But this charge and subsequent probe that is expected now is going to be very problematic for the Aam Aadmi Party. This goes very much against the grain of what the party says it stands for. There are now so many scam-related charges that the very image is under threat. This credibility aspect politically also is important. Why? Liquorgate. Number 2 of the party, Manish Sisodia, is accused of getting kickbacks from liquor barons. Many have already been arrested. His custody is still another 5 days. They'll seek recourse in the trial court and the High Court going forward. DTC bus scam. A probe has already been ordered into the irregularities in the purchase of buses and ignoring the lowest bidder. Kailash Gahlot there comes under the scanner as the transport minister. Classroom Gate. Delhi government's own vigilance report says 1,300 crore scam in construction of classrooms and toilets. Once again, the department comes under Manish Sisodia. Money laundering case. Satyendar Jain in jail since June 22. He is also accused of misusing his government position. Advertisement case, old case where the AAP was initially asked to return 97 crore. That sum has now increased to 163 crore due to interest accrued. The charge here is that they use public funds for political ads. And of course, there are others within Punjab government and thereafter who have been under the dock within the Aam Aadmi Party, or 6 or 7 different faces now who are under the scanner for graft charges, either arrested or under investigation or convicted, so or have had to resign from their positions in government. Let's listen to some of the reactions.
देखिए, दिल्ली के 2 करोड़ लोगों का प्यार और आशीर्वाद पाकर दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी दिल्ली के लोगों की सेवा कर रहे हैं। उनका काम किसी प्रकार से रुकना नहीं चाहिए, बाधित नहीं होना चाहिए। इस कारण से दोनों मंत्रियों का आदरणीय मनीष सिसोदिया जी का और सत्येंद्र जैन जी का इस्तीफा लिया गया है, उसको मुख्यमंत्री जी ने स्वीकार कर लिया है। लेकिन जहां तक इन दोनों मंत्रियों के ऊपर लगे हुए आरोप का सवाल है, ये आरोप पूरी तरीके से बेबुनियाद है, फर्जी है और कोई सत्यता इसमें नहीं है। ये बात मैं फिर से दोहराना चाहता हूं।
If Mr. Manish Sisodia had any moral compass left, being the disciple of Anna Hazare movement, he ought to have resigned on the day this scandalous allegations came to light. He ought to have told, first I will get exonerated, then I will come back. But his plea in the Supreme Court was, I am looking after 18 departments, therefore please give me bail. The keenness was there to run the department, not to explain the scandalous case of corruption. Therefore, again I would repeat, the whole conduct of Aam Aadmi Party is typified by 3C: cut, commission and corruption.